morning, everybody. I think I'm live. I hope I am. I forgot to put the little reminder card up last night, so I did not have this put up until about 15 minutes ago. I apologize. It's all my fault. And, things happen. Life has been crazy this week. As we see, I have glasses on because it's been crazy, and I'm looking at myself in the screen over here and it looks horrible. So I apologize for that distraction. It is just a little inconvenient and it happens. I can't see without them. And what's worse is I can't see with them anymore. These glasses are, I don't know, 12, 13 years old. Maybe even older than that. Because I hadn't bought glasses the past, I don't know how many years. And it's mostly because this prescription has been fine. Until recently, I've noticed that seeing distances isn't as clear in these because I know my prescription has changed just ever so slightly. And I only use these in emergencies, and it's been, a couple days. My right contact was not focusing Thursday in the office. And after Thursday, I was just like, I need to take my contacts out, and I didn't feel like putting them in yesterday. I didn't get up early enough to put them in today, but I have a feeling that after this live, I'm going upstairs and putting them in because I'm tired of wearing these glasses. So, nobody's saying anything yet. My guess is because there's only like 3 of us online that people didn't get the notice in time. So it's going to be late shuffling in as people are in. But if you're around, please say hi because I'm going to say hi back to you. I was going to kind of do a surprise box opening, but maybe I'll do that later when we have people on. Until then, I'm just sewing up more of the half square triangles with the what is that silly thing called? Progressive Pride flag that I purchased while I was at QuiltCon. Because, it's always good to have a project to work on. I had no idea what I was going to work on. I was hoping to get some of these half square triangles done during the week so we can put some of the rows together, or be working on some of the other what are those things called? The top half of it instead of the bottom third. But again, life happened this week. It was crazy. Good morning, balloonist. How are you? Hope you are having a wonderful day. So I do have my fabrics put together in the pairs and everything, so I can just go and sew. So I just figured today is just going to be a quiet, let's just chit chat, see what we got going on, and see how the afternoon is going. I'm sure, like I said a minute ago, most everybody is over at Steven's Sew Day because he does his pop-up sew days about once a month. And of course, I have to do this whole thing about scheduling my lives in the middle of his pop-up sew day. But, it's also about what's convenient for me. So, Balloonist, what are you working on today? Anything exciting? Like I said, I think it's time for me to get bifocals if I have to wear my glasses. I have or I need to schedule a appointment for the eye doctor next month. So in about a month or so. So I'm gonna talk and say, I really want to move to, or I want to keep my contacts, but I probably need to buy proper glasses. It's going to be an expensive purchase because contacts aren't cheap and glasses aren't cheap. And insurance wants to pay as minimal as they can. Good morning, Shelley. I hope you're having a good day. This week has just been a little bit of an adventure with work being crazy, and nothing was wrong, but there were things wrong, which is a weird way to phrase it, but there's no simpler way to phrase it. We have mapping tables that are into this new system, and the mapping tables were right and everything was all correct there, but our local copies of the mapping tables were not in sync exactly. So you always fear the worst when something like that has happened, but there was nothing wrong with any data that got mapped in, so I was like, well, there's that. But it's also very disappointing when there's something wrong and you have to trace it back and you end up finding out that it is one of your coworkers that made a minor mistake. Again, didn't cause any problems, but our boss has this thing about saying making you feel like it's the end of the world if something is wrong. And we're all perfectionists, so Balloonist is driving home from an early morning errand. You should not be typing and driving, so I hope you're a passenger. And we'll probably take her Riley to the dog park. Dog parks are fun, but I also have reservations about taking any of my animals to a dog park because, like, I know my dog's fine. I don't know about other people's dogs. So that's why my Riley goes to daycare instead of a dog park, because they're properly supervised there and they've all gone through their temperament testings. So we know that all the dogs there are properly up to date on everything. Whereas, dog parks are a free for all. When I had Bradley, my corgi, I took him to the dog park a couple times, but he just didn't care. He's like, I'd rather just be playing ball in the yard. So instead of doing that, we played ball to get his exercise. And Riley, she goes for many walks a day, and she gets daycare to get her exercise. That said, I have no issues going to the dog park on my own and just looking at the doggos. But I've also seen so many unfortunate incidents where somebody either wasn't paying attention or somebody's dog got jealous that somebody was talking to their human or interacting with their human that they weren't happy with. So I'm like, yeah, I just want to make sure that everything stays fine. Don't want jealousy happening. Good morning, Stephanie. I hope you're having an awesome day. I won't tell Steven that you're probably sneaking over there from his pop up soda. Although he's probably, watching the replay now and I just ruined everything. I'm sorry. Okay, good. Picky on the parks. That's a good thing. We had a incident in the neighborhood last week, which finally got called on this week. One of my neighbors, they live right there. Their one of their dogs was out without a leash, which I already disapprove of. And when Riley and I were on our way back, the dog came barking at us and came up onto the driveway and was trying to get at us. I had the umbrella, so I was able to, keep the umbrella between us. Mostly to keep Riley safe because I have no idea what this dog's doing. And the owner could not get the dog under control. And he's just yelling, dog's friendly, dog's friendly. Like, it doesn't matter if the dog is friendly, the dog's not on a leash. So I had to call the appropriate people to get them a warning because this wasn't the first time. In my opinion, the first time is an accident. And these folks never know how their dogs get out. The second time is, yeah, I mean, it could happen. But third time is a pattern, and it's ridiculous. And like one of their dogs is both deaf and blind. So she'll be running down the street, not knowing where she's going, and you can't call her to come back. And then they've had another dog, like I said previously, that has come at us while we try to go on our walks. And I have a camera, so all of them has been on video. But because I hadn't referenced a complaint before, they said all they can do is give them a warning. But after a warning, they're able to give tickets if it happens again. Not that I really want them to get tickets either. I just want them to keep their dog under control. Stephanie hasn't had time to get to Steven's soda yet because she slept in and ran errands. I wish I had the ability to sleep in. My alarm was set for 7:45 this morning because of Saturday Sampler, and I was up at 6:22. But Saturday Sampler was fun. We're starting a new program finally. It's called Choose Your Own Adventure, which is interesting, but also weird. I understand why they're doing it. It just feels weird compared to what they've done in the past. What they're doing is, historically, they've given us almost exactly the amount of fabric that we need to make the block. When it comes to scraps, it's usually slivers that you get back, unless you're doing flip in or stitch and flip method for flying geese, where you'll have half square triangles for scraps. But most of the time, it's just slivers that you would get. I mean, they gave you exactly enough that you need to cut. And this time they're calling it choose your own adventure, kind of like the books, because they're giving us a fat eighth with every block, and we can choose to put the fabrics in the same order that they chose to, or we could put the fabrics in a different order. And it also means if we have an oopsie, we should have extra fabric to correct with instead of having to run to the shop and buy more fabric. So I'm kind of excited. They have 3 different colorways that they normally choose from, and I picked the brights. Not that I know what the fabric line is. I'm sure as soon as I show it to somebody that knows all the fabric lines by heart, they'll be able to say, "This is the fabric line," and I am waiting for that. But the fabrics are, and the kit is in my car, so I will probably show that off tomorrow on my weekly vlog. And they were showing the new stuff that's in the shop, and they have okay, Stephanie says, so like the choose your own ending books. Yes, that's exactly where the idea came from, is choose your own ending, which I always ended up, falling in a pit in those books. Then I would, skip around because those pages were like, each page was a different portion of the book. So I would just skip through and read the random pages, and I'm like, well, how do I get this ending? But there was no easy way to backtrack to figure out how to get to that portion of the story. Now, if it was like a PDF, I can do searching for certain page numbers and stuff. And that would be able to find my going backwards with my patterns. But yeah, the choose your own adventure books, they were fun. But as I was going to say, they showed the new stuff that's in the shop, and they had a couple of Camille Roskelley's Shoreline kits. And that reminded me that, I ordered a few from Stephanie, and I also said I want to order certain backing fabrics and other fabrics. So I need to get with Stephanie soon to figure out how much I owe her for the extra stuff that I'm trying to order, and when she's going to get that into stock. Not that there's a rush on it, because the local shop hasn't gotten the fabric yet, so Stephanie may or may not have the fabric yet. But I know as soon as Stephanie gets the fabric, she's going to say, "Hey, Russ, you owe me some money." And then I will say, "Bye-bye work bonus." Because I ordered quite a bit. Because the only thing that I did not order from Stephanie was a bolt of the background. And I ordered that from one of the local shops. Because Stephanie can't ship bolts. Because shipping's expensive. And I'm not about to have Stephanie have to ship something expensive. Edelweiss came yesterday. Let's see that. Edelweiss is the one with the flowers and the vines. So that's what they have in the shop. But they're anticipating getting the fabric in. I can't wait to see the fabric in person and, you know, touch it and feel it and call it joy. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Not that I started the lighthearted quilt or the previous quilt or I was talking to a friend of mine this morning and was like, I need to get my kits organized and prioritized to start. Not that we didn't just have a like hour and 20-minute conversation about organization last week. And today is National Quilting Day. That I learned the other day. So I was like, this is kind of exciting. And during Saturday Sampler, somebody said, yeah, so many quilt shops are giving free shipping today. Which I thought most of them gave the free shipping at a certain amount anyway, but yeah, Stephanie, the Adore quilt. I really want to start that, but time and time and time again. Today also would have been Mom's birthday, so I've got that going on in the back of my head a little bit. I think she would have been 70 today, I think. That's kind of hard to imagine. Good morning, Sally. Hope you're having an awesome day. And my next door neighbor is having her annual donuts for her birthday celebration. Her birthday was the other day, but on the weekend she does donuts and like a fundraiser for a charity. So instead of people gifting her presents, she's like, donate to this charity. Which I like that idea. But of course I asked her, is she having donuts or donuts? And she says, what's the difference? I'm like, well, donuts, DOUGHNUTS, are really good. They're delicious. Donuts, DONUTS, are Dunkin', and they're usually dry and crusty. And she said that she's having from a boutique shop donuts and munchkins from Dunkin'. So she's doing the best of both worlds, or the best of one world and the worst of another. Have a good one, Stephanie. Hopefully I might be able to see you later. I'm also realizing I'm missing a page of my triangulations that I thought that I trimmed down. Sally is taking a breather from sewing for a bit. I mean, now imagining Sally doing a marathon with her sewing machine. At the same time, I understand when you're putting blocks together, and as in for the quilt top, it gets to be a little intense trying to push all that fabric underneath the machine. Exactly. I'm trying to figure out if I'm exactly right with the marathon or with the heavy quilt. I'm sure it's a heavy quilt. But it's hysterical to think about other methods that would cause people to be exhausted from sewing that are just completely ridiculous. Oh, cotton cuts up today. Oh, yeah, I gotta find a couple of my blocks for cotton cuts. I apparently forgot to put them back in the box because I have squirrel moments. So, yeah, that's just gonna be an interesting hunt down. I know I've got just over a month before Carnival is over. But I also want to be able to start putting together the blocks the moment we get our final clue. That's funny. So what I did is I was already sewing, and right here I shifted from the outside to the other side, but then I shifted again and I'm trying to sew over the same seam. Oh, I haven't had enough caffeine yet today. I don't know why I thought that it was time to switch again. Luckily, when you stitch over the um, same seam, it just gives you slightly more bulk. Sally was surprised to see that I was on, that she thought I would be on Steven's Sew Day. So I am normally on Saturdays at this time. It's what I've designated as my live time. Steven does his pop-up sew days, and his pop-up sew days were first, so I have no qualms if people are at his pop-up sew day instead of here at the live, because replays are always around. But yeah, I ended up picking this time, not thinking that Steven's pop-up so days, but then that means Sunday would be the only day that I would have been able to go live. And there's so many people already going live on Sundays. So I said, you know, I can deal with one day a month where I have lighter viewership and they'll catch the replays versus trying to find a time on a Sunday, or worse, trying to figure out a day during the week to do my live and end up battling other people who rightfully probably had the time first. And you can't please everybody with trying to find a live time. I understand that. But if there's people that I like to watch, I'm not going to say I can only watch your replays if it's there. So, I mean, Sean's got it great because he's got really early on a Saturday. So anybody who wants to watch can watch, but and they can watch the replay, but he's not interrupting anybody. My friend Shannon does basically 11 on Sundays, and I'm like, I can't. There's no competing with Shannon. I mean, she's super awesome, so there was no way I was going to do that. And then throughout Sunday, it's just, you know, you go from here to here to here to here for lives, and it's fun to watch. But when it comes to Saturdays, it seemed like, you know, we had Sean in the early morning, and then Mom and Pop at 1, and then, you know, Stephanie at 5, and there was like nobody else mid to late morning. So I was like, you know, this is a good time. There's a few other people who have now popped up, which is very exciting. So I'm glad that Saturdays are now starting to get filled. Good morning, Jeannie. So I don't have any more triangulations printed, but I do have a box. And I said that if I got a handful of people on, I would do a surprise unboxing. So y'all are getting my surprise unboxing. What is this box? I have no idea. A friend of mine who is currently in Colorado, he's the one who sent me the Tula pineapple kit a couple weeks ago that I did my unboxing and all the thread. And he's like, I forgot to send you some stuff. I'm sending you more. I'm like, okay. So, this arrived just before I came on camera. Good morning, Sherry. I hope you're having an awesome day. Okay, he went a little crazy again. I've got a spool of Aurifil 2437, a spool of Aurifil 5021, which is a weird gray taupey thing. Aurifil 2324. Oh, gee, there's even more. Which one is this? This is 4093, which is a really fun color. 2309, which is like a light beige. And I think this might be the last spool in here, is 2843. A very good friend of his recently passed away, so he's been in the process of clearing out the house of all the fabric and stuff. Then I got what looks to be a bunch of, they're folded like fat quarters. I'm going to call these fat quarters. So there's this fabric, which is a lot of fun. I did not do color correction on my camera yet, so while it looks blue, it's really purple. I need to get the color correction fixed. I had it working before. Then there's these really fun. Again, the background is purple. There's an orange, which nicely shows up as orange. Another one of these. Some flowers. Some really cool little buzzies. Dots. This is a repeat of the other fabric, I think. Maybe it's different. It is different because the first one was this, and this one has oranges in it. So it's the same pattern, just different colors. A blue flower. Oh, if these are all going together, it's Not Your Mama's Garden. Because I just peeked at one of the selvages. And so it looks like I got a good fat quarter bundle of Not Your Mama's Garden. I'm excited about that. And then there's a whole bunch of templates in here. So this is a leafy template. This is the HQ Builder template. A twirly template. I have the ruler foot for my long arm, but I have like one ruler. So now I have a whole bunch of templates to go with it. This is the candy template. Some of these I should be able to freehand if I get enough practice. Triangles. Now that'll be fun because I have seen so many triangles I've wanted on quilting. A curvy. A righty ruler, which I'm like could be a lefty ruler if you put it this way. And then there's some more fat quarters in here. Box away. With the infamous sticker. So this was purchased from the boys. There's this fabric. This fun one. This flower. Same print, different colors. This has got peacock feathers on it. More peacock feathers. This is a large line. I'm gonna have to count how many fabrics there are yet, but now, and I also got to figure out what I'm going to do with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. I do like the way they fold their fat quarters. 15, 18. Okay, I'm at 20. 21, 22. 24 fat quarters in this bundle. So that's going to be fun to figure out what I'm going to do with this. First thing that comes into mind is I can make the same pattern as the graduation quilts, except I haven't graduation quilts. Because I think that takes 18 fat quarters, if I remember correctly. So I can use up a good portion of this if I went that direction. But I'm probably not going to go that direction. If I'm smart, I might break it up into 2 12s and figure out 2 12 fat quarter patterns. Because I don't think there's actually a pattern for 28 except for something like probably Yellow Brick Road or Turning 20, which I think uses 20 instead of 24. I want to maximize the use is really what I'm saying. So I don't know what I'm going to do. But again, thank you, David, because this was an unexpected treat. he was supposed to be here this weekend, but something about Denver and snow and 18 inches. Uh, which reminds me, a friend of mine who's 4'10" lives north of Denver, and she had said that there was like 6 feet of snow outside. And I told her, because she's 4'10", 6 feet, I was like, so taller than you. And I said that all I can visualize is those hysterical um, dog videos where a dog gets all excited that he can go outside, or she, and runs out and sees the snow and just dives into it, and you lose them. And I told her that she needs to get a video of her running and diving into the snow. And if she doesn't, she is disappointing me in the greatest of disappointments. She hasn't sent me the video yet, so I don't think she's done it. So you're disappointing me. Good morning, Mom and Pop. I hope you are having an awesome day. I also hope it's not too cold up there right now. It's been gorgeous here, except for yesterday was a little rainy. We tried to eat outside Thursday for lunch, but my coworker wanted to eat outside in the sun, and I was like, it's still too warm for the sun, but I know that you are, thin-blooded and you need the warmth. But there was no seats in the sun for him, so we ended up eating inside. But I'm out of stuff to sew right now because I didn't have time to do any cutting this week. So I think I'm going to cut this live just a little bit short. It's better now, sunny at the moment. Good. Sun is the important part because a lot of people are solar powered even if they deny it. I definitely am solar powered, but I can only do so much sun. But I think I'm going to end this live now. Make sure you check out everybody who has lives this weekend. Today is National Quilting Day, so you guys, everybody needs to be under the machine and doing as much quilting as they can. Mom and Pop will be live in a little bit, so head over to their channel. Stephanie is live at 5 this evening, and she's sewing a shamrock, so that's going to be exciting. Tomorrow morning, Sean, the guy who sews, has his weekly podcast. Let's see, at 11 tomorrow, Shannon of Slay Arts is doing her Sunday brunch. Let's see, tomorrow afternoon is Stephen and Walter live, who it's going to be a lot of fun. I don't know what they're going to be talking about, but I think this is the last live that they are doing before their trip to Australia, because I think they leave this week, which I'm so jealous that they're going to get to go. And so excited that they're going to be going, because I keep saying I want to go to Australia, but that's a long flight and my ADHD. But make sure you check out all the YouTubers that you want to this week and today, tomorrow, and all that. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.